baby. Up for tonight. Be right back. Okay, so first of all, I have to learn how to walk in heels again. I am struggling. But yay, we're here. Yay! Woo, 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 woo. I'm so excited for the opera. They have all kind of concessions and treats and things like that. So I'm gonna look around, grab something because it's almost a 3-hour show. You know what though? Oh, they have a whole bottle of Prosecco for $9. I'll be back. The pianist was just playing Imagine by John Lennon. That was really, really cute. And I got blueberry cheesecake and I got my own Prosecco. I'm going to enjoy a little bit of this and try to find my seat because at the rate that I'm walking, it's going to take me a long time to get there. Like I'm amazed at how slow I'm walking in these heels. Oh snap, they didn't flash the light. That means get to your seats for you miss it. Cute thing about my dress, right? It keeps rising up at the bottom, so I got to keep putting something on it. My shawl perfectly fits. Now it's the perfect little cover up. All right, talk to y'all later. They're about to start. Bye. Yay! Okay. First and foremost, I gotta find me a lash girl. I low-key miss my lashes. I miss them. Like I'm looking at like old footage and old stuff where I like was in full effect with my lashes. And back when I was living in Georgia, even more so even in the outskirts of Atlanta, like when I was living like in the suburbs or whatever, there was like this Indian lash girl that I was going to. Amazing. She was fire. And one of the things I'm grateful to the state of Georgia for, if I'm not grateful for nothing else, is their lash expertise. Because even when I lived in California, I shared this in the past. Even when I lived in California, the homegirl who got me together with my lashes, she was from Savannah, Georgia, and honey, she got me all the way together. And and my lashes was popping, like in that era, like the whole 2016, that whole era when I had it together, the lashes were together, okay? And then when I moved to Georgia, and I wasn't even there very long because it was too much going on, right? And I wasn't enjoying it, and then it started to feel counterproductive. I was like, why am I paying to be here? Like, why am I this is feeling like I'm swimming against the current, and for what? Like, there's no point. Even the stuff that was being directed at me, it was like, I'm not even interested in this shit. What am I doing? Like, I don't want any part of this. But what remained consistent across the board still, no matter what remained consistent was, and listen, this was women of all colors, shapes, and sizes, okay? Who had the lash game together. I'm talking about sisters. I'm talking about Latino chicks. Latinas, let's keep it correct. Latinas. I'm talking about Asians. I'm talking about Indians. Okay, because out when I was like living in like West Georgia or whatever, when I was like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes from Alabama, when I was out there, it was an Indian chick who had it together, okay? And then when I moved into Fulton County and I was like staying outside of West End, right? It was sisters and it was a Chinese lady. Well, I don't want to be politically incorrect. Y'all know what I'm saying. They were Asian. I mean, because if they were Korean, I'm real messed up for saying Chinese. Y'all know how it is. We don't listen. We love everybody. Okay? Amen. Praise him. Now, check this out. Before I get started, okay? Because I know why y'all came. Before I get started, I have to say this. This video is sponsored by Avon. Because it is. Listen, dude, I feel so cute because I am covered head to toe in Skin So Soft. I'm talking about everything, honey. Everything. It smells amazing, and I'm so happy. It couldn't have came at a better time. It came the day I went to the opera. Like, I woke up that day, and the box was right outside my door. I was like, oh, my Avon, and it was all here. So of course, what's being promoted, Father's Day is coming, even though Mother's Day is today. Listen, when it comes to these holidays, companies do not care. It's always on to the next thing. They got like all kind of like dad slacks and stuff like that. So if you want to shop for your man or shop for somebody for Father's Day, it's all in this package. But what I'm interested in, outside of Skin So Soft, is the fragrances, baby. Yes. Because I have plenty of Marc Jacobs, okay? Went to the opera head to toe in Marc Jacobs. I still have a lot of my Versace left, including my fave. I still got a lot of my Versace left. And I got plenty of Marc Jacobs. But, in lieu of recent years and recent things, I'm like, okay, I don't mind spending $50, $60 on a good perfume. Been doing it for decades, right? I'm not interested in spending $100 on good perfume. Like, it's that whole supply and demand thing. It's the whole, I just have a certain value for things I value, things I don't value. A good perfume is definitely worth spending $40, $50, $60 in my opinion, because it's a great fragrance. It lasts. And then also, all fragrances don't really cling well to all body types. For example, I'll give you a perfect example. And no diss, no shade. I'm mentioning this because I love Versace. Okay, I've been Versaced out since the 90s. Okay, praise God. But and two of my favorite fragrances of all time is Versace. However, I went to Sephora like recently. I don't remember how long ago this was, but I mean, it's been within the last 6 months. Whatever. I went to Sephora. Okay, and you know how Sephora likes to gift you with things because they want you to try new stuff. They gifted me with this Versace. Okay, this Versace Parfum. Okay, and for me, myself, I don't really care for it because I don't like fragrances that make you smell like the funeral home. Like, I don't, some perfumes that give off funeral home. I don't like that. I don't like my perfumes being too floral. I don't like them being too, I don't like that. I like fragrances that are fruity and fresh. Because I want to be edible. I want you to eat me, baby. Okay, that's the point. Yes. So, I like fruity fragrances. I say that to say that's what I enjoy. And like when I wear my Marc Jacobs and when I wear my Versace, those are the ones I go after. Other big name perfume lines have let me down. But, consistently over the years, I've been undefeated across the board with those two brands. I do give an honorable mention, though, to Armani. Armani has some good fragrances. And Jimmy Choo, the Jimmy Choo fragrance, I enjoyed that very much. But they have a fruity floral. And as soon as I jumped to it, I was like, And so I'm like, you know what? It would be cute to invest in maybe 3 or 4 of these fragrances. I mean, because they're going at $18, $19 a pop, right? And of course, that's not including shipping and all those things. But I'm like, if I buy 3 of these fragrances, that's about 1 bottle of my favorite fragrance, right? And so I'm like, it'll be worth it. For me, it's a worthwhile investment to, check it out because they have a lot of fruity floral. Here's another one. Live Out Loud Fruity Floral. I'm like, okay, girl, what does that smell like? I want to try it. Then they have another fruity floral. Like, that's 3 that I picked out already, okay? And then they have another one. And I'm starting to really, really love rose-scented things. Why, you asked? I'm going to tell you why. First of all, my beloved Skin So Soft, okay? And the bottle's out, because I've been using it, okay? Like, the soft and sensual, it's like blessed rose petals. Like, it's amazing. Like, and it's not it's not the funeral home smell. It's the Garden of Eden. It's the Song of Solomon, like flowery, love-making-y type of, you feel me? And so, yes, we had all of this. It's the body wash. It's the, the deodorants. Worthwhile investment. It's so beautiful. And the scented soaps. I'm talking about head to toe, y'all. Head to toe, everything. And then, of course, I still love my Caress. I still love my, there's a few others. Listen, honey, please. When it comes to keeping clean and being beautiful, I will rock the Suave black, the Suave brown sugar, the Suave whatever the blueberry one is. That smells fresh and amazing. So yeah, I definitely get down with those because it is what it is. But when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, when you want to clean and self-care, you know, when you want to skin so soft and sensual. It's beautiful. And that's what I wore to the opera. See, it all ties in. Y'all thought I was just talking about it. No, it all ties in. Listen, I was Avon out that day, honey, and it felt amazing. I literally took my time getting ready that day. I'm talking about from head to toe, everything. The works. I was like, okay, fresh relaxer. We're going to do that. And, honey, I was watching Urban Cowboy for the very first time. Never seen it in my life. I was watching that. And and I was applying my little relaxer. I was picking out my little clothes. And because when it comes to dressy dresses, right, I only got about a few options, child. I just recently moved. I left a lot of clothes back in Atlanta. I was like, just throw it away, start over, right? But then also, before I accumulated all of those, if you've been watching me for a while, if you know, you know, I started all the way over from zero like 3-4 years ago. Okay, right. So I was even watching an old video of mine when I like left California and first got to Miami, and I literally had a backpack and a duffel bag. Like I had my coat, my little winter coat, I had my backpack and my duffel bag, and sprung up everything. And then got to a place where I was like, I gotta get rid of all of this because I gotta do more things. You know, that's a blessing. That's a wonderful, wondrous blessing. Okay, a blessing I don't take for granted, guys. So keeping all that intact, right? When I got in town, I saw this advertisement for the Sound of Music, and just deer in headlights. Where do I go? Where are they doing it? Y'all don't even understand. I love the Sound of Music. Okay, that was one of the first musicals that enchanted my childhood and lit up my life and literally made me want to learn the piano, made me want to sing, okay? Back in the day, I started playing piano by ear just because I started figuring out, I heard this in the movie, and I hear it, and that's how you play it, and all those things, right? And I was interested in piano lessons then, right? And my mama just didn't do it. When I was younger, when I was a child, I was like, well, guess I'm gonna give that up. It's not really important, right? As an adult, what I learned was she didn't have the money. And that's a very real thing. Like when we're kids, we don't always understand that. When we're kids, we don't really understand how economics works, right? But like as an adult, looking back on it, it was like, yeah, 4 kids, 4 kids, you know, basically the major breadwinner. My father always worked. Sometimes my father had like 2 jobs. But my father had a little spending issue. We'll say it like that, okay? And so, you know, a lot of things often fell on her. And when you have 4 children, it's like, certain things got to take priority. Piano lessons wasn't one of them, right? So later on, she ends up getting me and my younger sister into piano lessons. I think my younger sister may even play better than me, probably. She stayed with her lessons way longer than I did. Because by the time piano lessons was back on the table, when my mom was like, they're giving out lessons at the Park District. Y'all can go and learn the piano at the Park District. What I figured out was, okay, that's free. And now, since it's free, yeah, y'all could take all the lessons you want type of deal. But I was interested in basketball at the time. I was playing on my junior high team. I was basketball out at the time. So I didn't really prioritize the piano lessons then. And I found them to be quite boring. Because by the time they came around, I had already learned how to play a lot of things by ear. And so starting from scratch, I don't know why, but at that time I just didn't have the patience. I don't even know why. But it came back full circle because as I went to high school, got out of junior high and stuff like that, and my love for basketball started dying down because I was like, I'm not going to the WNBA. I'll just enjoy it, right? I started playing soccer. Got in the band and all those things. It started coming full circle because the notes, right? The scales, right? Bass clef, treble clef, all those things started resurfacing when I got to a cappella choir and when I got in the band, right? And so then you start paying a little bit more attention. Oh, this is an 8th note. Oh, this is a quarter note. Oh, this is a whole note. You start paying a little bit more attention. And I had one of the best vocal teachers in high school. To this day, I'm still grateful for her because I still remember, shockingly, a lot of the things that I learned back then. And I didn't even understand at the time how decorated and accomplished she was. Like, I knew it in high school, but even like learning more and doing more research, learning the significance of the Fisk Jubilee singers and all these things, I was like, Miss Burns she was the dopest. Like, God is good. Like, how do we end up on the same path? She was fabulous. But she had a sight reading, y'all. Okay? Amen. Praise him. And so, like, I have like this love, right? And through Miss Burns and all the stuff that we was doing in a cappella choir, I started to have more an understanding from my mother's skills. Because my mother went to school for opera. And my mother was a lyric soprano. And I learned all of these things through vocal class, through being in a cappella choir in high school. And so it enriched my conversations with her because my mother didn't really like to talk about, Jesus. She didn't like to talk about it much, right? She just didn't. I don't know why. She just didn't. She would tell us bits and pieces. She would tell us things. She always told us about how she was invited to sing for the Queen of England. Always. But then my grandma and grandpa was like, no, you can't go that far. That's crazy. That's too much going on in the world. Like, they just like, nah. But she always told us about how, she went to Roosevelt University. She was first chair soprano, all these things. And she finished up most of her college education there and then transferred to Chicago State where she met my father, where Kanye mama was too. They no relation or whatever. It's just hilarious that they was all at Chicago State around the same time and they're all around the same age. All of them are in the same like age group. That part's crazy. So they met at Chicago State. Fast forward, she teaches school. All of them became teachers. All three of them. Crazy part. Okay, so Sound of Music was something that I enjoyed watching with her as a little girl. And anytime it came on TV, right, when they played the reruns, and they would play Sound of Music around the holidays all the time, usually Christmas or Thanksgiving. It'll come on. And, if we catch it, girls, look, they're playing the Sound of Music. We'll come and sit and watch it with her, And, oh my God, I just loved it. Julie Andrews, amazing. Like, 35 years later, like, seeing it live in the opera, and of course, the actors who are in the opera singing all the songs, they're not the original characters at all, but they're amazing at their craft, amazing with what they did. I was trying not to be too black. I tried not to, like, I respected all the rules, okay? I put my phone away, all these things, but when it opened, right, because this is opera, and this is not a Broadway play, reenactment of it. Everything was performed very operatic, okay? And they opened with this number that it sounded like they were singing in Latin. It could have been Italian, but opera is an Italian art, but I can't remember. No. Like, in opera, okay, let me start from the beginning. If you've never been to an opera, right, they always have the words on the screen. So there's always a closed caption thing happening when you're watching everything play out in front of you. This is very helpful because a lot of operas are in another language. And so although they are singing in the original language, like I said, operas are usually, Italian, but there's all kind of, operas, right? They're singing their language, and you trying to figure out what's going on in the scene. They have the closed caption either above or below what's happening. There's somebody in the booth whose their whole job is to just keep the script rolling across the screen, so you can see what's happening, right? Okay. So, and I'll go back to my first opera experience, and I'm going to tag the vlog of my first opera experience somewhere in this video. Check it out. I'm going to tag it right here. But my very first opera I ever saw, right? It was a combination of operas, right, that we got invited to, and it was at the Metropolitan Chicago Opera House. It was an amazing experience. And now that I've been to 2 operas, I really value my first experience because now I'm seeing they treated us so well. Like, oh my gosh. I worked at the bar across the street from the Chicago Metropolitan Opera. And like one day they came in our bar because they get off work and blah, blah, blah. And they have operas going on during opera season. They come over to refresh with us, or people who are attending the operas, right? They come over, have a drink or after the opera and have a nightcap with us, and then they go, over there to go enjoy the opera and stuff like that. And on the days of the opera, honey, we made money. Because you're not dealing with cheap people. So we used to make money. And one day, either somebody who worked there or some patrons of ours who just really liked us like that gave us tickets to the opera. And like people were tripping like, and me and my homegirl Jackie was like, we going. What? The opera? That's classy. See, that's y'all problem. Y'all not classy. We going. So me and Jackie decided we was going. Okay. And they were on some be our guest type, be our guest, be our guest. They was on that type of vibe. So from the moment we got there, everything was just, open the doors. They had hors d'oeuvres, they had sandwiches, they had wine, they had all these things. And it was all spread out because, no, we wanted y'all to come on. And so what they did was a number of operas. At the time, Othello was playing. And I did want to go see Othello. I never got around to it. So probably that will be my third opera experience. At some point, I got to go see Othello somewhere, okay? But they were doing Othello, and they decided to give us selected operas. And the one that they gave us that I didn't know, I always wanted to see, was the Barbara of Seville, okay? Because my entire life, thanks to Merry Melodies and Walt Disney and Bugs Bunny, okay, we had been, in our childhood given all these songs from all these operas, and we didn't know it was opera. We didn't know where it came from, but, we knew Bugs Bunny had it in the cartoon, and it was cool. But the Barbara of Seville is the opera that made the song Figaro famous. The Figaro, 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 oh, Figaro, la 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 la. Y'all heard it before, but if you ever watched Bugs Bunny, you done heard it before. But yeah, that's all Barbara of Seville. And now that we're not kids, we can talk about it. So, the Barbara of Seville, low-key, he was a pimp, okay? Everybody loved Figaro, okay? Figaro was getting his money. The girls loved Figaro. Figaro was a man about town, okay? He was that dude. He was him, is really what it was. And that was such a refreshing experience. Now, Sound of Music is, a Rodgers and Hammerstein, piece. And it was, presented as a musical, but also made into a full-length movie. And it has been, it's British, right? But it's been very Americanized and all these things. So fortunately, them just acting the lines and doing the scenes of the movie, it was all in English, right? So there was nothing to translate. That was something I didn't have to worry about. But also because I loved Sound of Music so much, I was already familiar with the story. I just wanted to see it again. I wanted to hear the songs be performed so beautifully. And it was amazing. Okay, word to the wise, ladies, don't wear heels to the opera. Don't do it. I mean, if you a heels pro, get it, girl. Go on. Me? Oh my gosh. First of all, this is why I say don't wear heels to the opera. This is why. Because when I went to my first opera experience, like I said, they gave us those tickets. We were gifted those tickets, okay? And it was an amazing experience. And I was up close, okay? I was like, Jackie and I, we were like 4 or 5 rows back. We had the good section seats, okay? But this opera, I was in the balcony. And I was cool with it because I wanted to be in the balcony. I wanted to see what that was like. Because when I went to the opera the first time, I was looking at the people in the balcony. And I was like, wow, like, what are they doing up there? What's it like up there? Whatever. So I went to this one. And it was good. I loved it. It was steep, though. That's what I'm trying to get at. It was steep. the going the up and down the stairs, oh my gosh. They're very steep stairs, going up and going down. I'm saying this to say, I was a part of a group of all ages, okay? Men and women. Listen, for men, it was steep. Everybody holding that damn banister going down, counting their steps, like looking like, okay, all right. When the intermission happened, and it was, we could break for like a little bit, go to the bathroom, have refreshments or whatever. I saw an older man literally climbing up the stairs, hands and feet like this because they're that steep. He was like, I ain't got time for this, bitch. I'm 80. I'm like, y'all tripping. I'm like, no. He was on hand and foot going up the stairs. I was like, that's crazy. Steep. Stairs are steep as hell at the opera. Just be careful. Okay? There are still buff old ladies at the opera. Listen, listen, this is like they soap opera time or something, honey. They ain't got time for you. If you in the way, there is no consideration for you. They got to get to their seat. They got to get their refreshments. They got to get their bathroom breaks in. Yes, we all do, but honey, they didn't pay their debt to society and life, and you don't matter. They will bulldoze you, and that's pretty much, you just have to accept life at this point. Like, I mean, seriously, what you gonna do? Like, start fighting old ladies? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, let them have their moment, honey. That's their time to shine, honey, and you gotta just give it up and let them have that. It was fun, though. It was like, dude, seriously, it's 2 days later, because I went on Friday, today Sunday, and like, I'm glad I did it, but also, today was the last day. It was going to end on Mother's Day, and initially, when I saw the advertisement for it, my initial plan was to go today, on Mother's Day, and when I went to buy the tickets, they were all sold out, because I guess everybody else had the same idea. Like, oh, that's the perfect day to see Sound of Music. Go on Mother's Day. that was originally supposed to be my Mother's Day plans. I was going to see Sound of Music at the opera. And when I went to buy the tickets, they were sold out. So then I started panicking, like, wait a minute. I was like, there's no tickets left? And then I started like searching through all their days and times. And then I found some on Friday. I was like, that's perfect. I don't like, whatever. Those were perfect Friday night plans. I'll make it my whole day. And I literally made it my whole day. And I was trying to see what the happy hour was talking about, because they sent me the email once I purchased the tickets. You know, Miss Browning Lopez, you know, here's your e-ticket, all your information, blah, 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 blah. There's no late seating. Be there, plan out an hour and a half. Listen, they tell it to you in the email. They telling you we don't play. Look, you better plan parking, whatever, if you're driving or whatever. Try to show up an hour before the show starts. like it's real. Don't play. Don't mess around. And honey, I took it seriously. I didn't show up an hour before it started, but even getting there at 6:30, honey, was cutting it close, because from the minute I got there, I was like, oh, damn, I missed the happy hour. Because in the email, they say that happy hour starts, you know, as soon as the place opens, which is 6. And they say it's available for the first 30 minutes. And I was like, okay, well, I didn't get there within the first 30 minutes, so I guess it's over with. And so I came there. I lowered my expectations once I saw I missed it. But then I got there. Honey, they had a whole hot kitchen with teriyaki chicken and rice and, you know, all these things. And I was like, oh, I wasn't planning for all that, but okay. I mean, like they had chefs there. They had like to-go. They had a to-go bar where you could, you know, reach. It was, you know, grab and go out of a, you know, a cooler, grab and go. You can get sandwiches. They had all kind of little stuff. They had like Perrier. They had regular water. Then they had Coke and Sprite. Those were the only options. Coke, Sprite, Perrier, water, right? Or you gonna get some wine. And so I found there. I ended up having some champagne. Like I had Prosecco. I didn't have champagne. I had Prosecco. I don't remember what it was called, but it was Prosecco. Avani, whatever. It was a Prosecco. And I was like, oh, if they have any orange juice here, I'm going to make me a little mimosa and keep it cute. And they didn't. They did have a bar there, though. But, like, it wasn't just get what you want type of thing. You had to be getting a cocktail. And I'm like, well, I'm buying the bottle of Prosecco. So, I'm going to just drink the Prosecco straight. It's fine. So, they had that. Because, you know, if you wanted a cognac or a whiskey or, you know, a Manhattan or any of those, a Cosmopolitan or any of those opera-y type of cocktails, you know, even if you wanted just a gin martini or whatever, they were there for that. And then they had a choice of red wine. It was something by Sutter Home, one of those Sutter Home red wines. I didn't really pay attention because I'm not a big red wine drinker. I'll do it. But if it's not a Shiraz, I don't care. I don't. Or I'm very partial to a chocolate port. I did enjoy that. You know, in my wine tasting days or whatever, the only other wines that were red that got my heart outside of a Shiraz was a chocolate port. I like my wines to be a little sweeter. Red wines are way too dry for me to enjoy. As much as I've tried it and as much as I've done it to be social, I'm like Paul Giamatti. I just don't like Merlot. I'm not drinking Merlot. I don't want it. Like, keep it away from me. But, you know, if it's all that they have, I'll take it. I'll throw some Sprite in it and I'll have it. But I like white wine. That's my jam. Preferably a Cabernet Sauvignon. Oh, no, that's red. A Sauvignon Blanc white is my fave. That, I love Riesling. And everybody loves Moscato. How could you not? It's a dessert wine, but it's tasty. It's good. Okay? Blush wines. Love blush wines. They're amazing. But red wines, meh. If I have to, I'm going to throw some Sprite in it and I'll enjoy it. Yeah, that's that on that. I had some cheesecake. It was fabulous. Blackberry. Interesting choice, but it was all they had. But cheesecake can never be that bad. And it wasn't. I tore that cheesecake up. But the minute I bought it, I had like just what felt like a slither of time before they flashed the lights. And because that wasn't my first rodeo, and I had been to an opera before, I knew exactly what that light meant. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, I just got here. I was like, oh gosh. So then I'm like trying to figure it out. I found one of the ushers, and then she was a black lady. I was like, hey girl. I was like, okay, I'm trying to find my seat. I don't know where I'm going. I've never been here. She's like, do not rush. Don't rush. Finish your food, because you cannot take that inside. Finish that food. She's like, but don't wait till the last minute. Go straight to the back. Take the elevator up to 6. I'm like, up to 6? Girl, I don't even know what floor, but I did take the elevator to get to the lobby, so I don't know what floor I started on. I've never been there. I don't know. But I did take the elevator just to get up to the lobby, so But she's like, take the elevator up to 6, and she's like, and they'll direct you from there. I was like, okay. So then I ate all the stuff. She's like, you could bring wine in there. That's what she told me. So I kept my wine, my Prosecco, rather. But I kept it, and I came all the way upstairs. I got up there, and it was like, oh, you're going to have to get rid of that. But there's no drinking inside the showroom. I was like, what? They told me I keep my wine. I was like, that's fine. So I finished everything, dumped it, chucked it, and got assistance getting to my seat. And honey, like what I told you, I held that banister for dear life and got down into, and when I was in box, I was in box K. And it was cute. Like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, that whole thing. They had them all scattered or whatever. I was in box K. It was cute. There was some men in there that snuck their drinks in. I wasn't that person, though. I let them live. But I was in there like, damn. They probably hid behind their wives or something and smuggled their damn drinks in here. I was like, I came by myself, so I didn't have nothing, nobody that had nothing. I came in there, and I was looking for where I had to be, so, I mean, there was no way for me to have my little drink. But there was a couple guys. It was only, that's the other thing, too. Hold on. I was about to sneeze. That was weird. Hold on. I should have bought something to drink. Whatever. It was only men who smuggled drinks in there. When I looked around and was looking at what was happening, it was only the guys. They was the only ones that was trying to be rebels and didn't want to follow the rules. That's fine. But I say all this to say, when it first started, they were singing a beautiful song. It was like I said, it was like Latin or whatever, because they had the words going across the screen in closed caption. And, it was like Amadeus, da-da-da, da-da-da, Avanti, you know. I don't know what it was. I don't speak Latin or anything. But it was beautiful. It was so beautiful. It sounded like, like an angelic choir of some sort. And if you ever heard like Ave Maria or any of those type of songs, the harmonies, and it was an all-female choir too, who was, singing whatever that was, that opening. If it wasn't The Sound of Music, girl, I don't remember none of that. But it was so beautiful. That's how the show opened. It opened with them singing that song. I think it was in Latin. And it was just, and it was all like, it was just beautiful. And honey, they were going, y'all know I'm a fake soprano, okay? I'm an alto who sometimes sings tenor because musically I'm what's called a contralto. I'm a lady tenor, okay? I'm alto below, right? I'm a fake soprano. I can give you them notes, but they gonna be falsetto every time, okay? I mean, praise him. But it was beautiful. It was like one of the most beautiful things I ever heard. And I was trying to catch it. I'm gonna see if I can insert some and put it in this video so y'all can hear it. It was beautiful. It was perfection. And then it opens, and it was just such a pleasure. And they was like, they put it in the email too. They was like, and we know that this is one of people's favorite things, but please don't sing along with the performance. And I was in there, I was like, I'm not gonna sing along with the performance. I'm not gonna sing along with the performance. I'm not gonna do it. But I'm gonna smile. Like, the whole time I was watching, I was like, child, listen. When I tell you, I was in my little happy place and nothing mattered, and I will totally go again. And now I'm trying to figure out what's the next. Well, if they have Othello, I'm going to go see it because that was the one that I was trying to go see when I was in Chicago. And now that I'm in the opera mood, this would be the most advantageous time. If they play in Barber of Seville, I'm there in 2 seconds. I would love to see that again. That was just so exciting. But yeah, it was so beautiful. It was, listen, and like I said, because it's opera, everything was very operatic. Even the singing, like everything was, very, even, they were very, it was awesome. It was the actress who played Maria von Trapp, honey, her notes were like crispy and perfect, like every time. Like they were just, it was amazing. And the guy that they had playing Captain Von Trapp, he was amazing. Like his tenor or baritone. Now he was more a tenor, but it was, I mean, these are professionals we talking about so clearly, but he was like, to hear him sing, it was very, very powerful. And then when they had them do duets, it was just so enjoyable. Like, it was the most beautiful. I was like, it was so well done, that child. What? Girls in white dresses with blue satin sashes, snowflakes that fall on my nose and eyelashes, white silver winters that melt into springs. These are a few of my favorite things. When the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, I simply think of my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad. I love it. So, yep, I got to geek out. It was amazing. And that's it. I love y'all. Thank you for watching. And stay tuned because I'm switching up this entire channel. All my tarot readings are going to members only. I told y'all that. By June 1st, they're going to all be there. And today is the day that I'm going to start moving them. So get your looks while you can because I'm moving them so that they'll be out of the way by June 1st. What you can look forward to, more vlogging content, but more specifically, Truthalations Podcast is coming back. Jokes and Jams Podcast is coming back, but I'm changing the format for a lot of reasons. I really want to format that podcast in a way where I'm utilizing my journalism degree more. And also, I had some idea. There was a show idea that I came up with while I was in Jacksonville. And I just found it in my notebook. And I was looking over it and I was like, yeah, I want to execute that. And so I would want to put more stuff like that on my YouTube because it's my channel. It's my network. And I thought to myself, okay, if Comedy Central gave me a show, what would I put on it? Yeah, let me start putting that on YouTube. And so that's what the content that you can expect to find on my YouTube. That and the Truthalations Podcast. 2023, last year, it started off with such a bang. And guys, I can't even emphasize or fully express how much I enjoyed doing that podcast. Simply because I know that it's a part of my work, right? I had to take a break from it because there was a whole lot of things going on. But also, I don't have any type of bias, right, towards specific things when it comes to talking about God and Christianity. Something I stay away from because I have a huge disdain for it is like when people play with God And they try to like throw everybody into the same category. And I don't like it. It's not my thing. Specifically because I talk to God every day. I take that relationship very seriously, and I don't play, nor do I respect people that tend to play or want to undermine or, disrespect what I'm on. And the more that I mature as a Christian, I'm less judgmental. The more and more I mature on this journey that I have with the Lord, the more and more I'm learning to take the weight off me, because it's not my work. It's not my battle. It's the Lord's. God will judge everyone the way he wants to judge them. He is the Almighty. He is the end all be all, and it's his work. And as long as I am working on myself daily and in communication with him and working with him, right? It's not for me to take everything onto my shoulders and start handing out, whatever, judgment, like, shaming and it's like, dude, seriously, in real life, it has no effect on me. What I'm supposed to do as a good Christian is do my best to love people. And that is a hard task in and of itself, because people are crazy. All right. Love people and see people in the eyes of God. See people with the eyes of God. Let me say that correctly. See people with the eyes of God, right? One of the things, I was about to say something else. Let me keep going before I forget. But seeing people with the eyes of God, that's one. But then also, within doing that, knowing that, okay, somebody doing something God told them not to do, God is going to deal with them justly. All your work is to let them know what God said. To go ye therefore teach all nations, regardless of who they are and what's going on. All right. Baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Right. And going and spreading and being a presentation, a billboard of God's unconditional love. Right. And then things that are not pleasing to God, going, you know what? I know God don't really like that, so I'm not finna promote that. I know God don't really like that, so I'm not gonna, whatever. But if that's what you want, I'm letting you, hey, listen, man, get on down. Because at the end of the day, I don't have a heaven or hell to put you in. It's not up to me. It's up to him. And depending on whatever people's relationship is with God and whatever they got going on, God is going to do what he does, and he's going to step in on the behalf of certain people that man will throw away or condemn and do all of those things. So how about we just let God do his job and stop trying to assert ourselves in that position when we all out here messing up and doing things as well. And we need the same grace. Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? And the more you mature, you see that and you're like, okay, well, let me just do my best, right? To treat people well, let me just do my best to not care so much about what people think, because I'm not really living for them. I'm really living for him. So who cares what they are? Like, they're crazy anyway. Like, let me focus here and not over. You know what I mean? Like, the more I mature on that, it's like, dude, like, do what you do. And if it's something that God don't like, that, take it up with the big man. Okay, it's above me. I'm not gonna do that. So yeah, that's the kind of time that I be on, and seeing people with the eyes of God. So this is specific. This is very, very, very personal to me. For the past year and a half, right? Something that God has been working with me on and kind of like guiding me through, right, is seeing people through the eyes of God, right? So something will happen, right? We'll be, like all of us, people will be in environments, we'll be out, we'll be wherever, right? And certain people will come into our experience and, maybe they'll do something we don't like, or they'll say something where, you're not feeling it for whatever reason, right? And before you get into that space of like cutting them out or, whatever, right? this is what's been happening to me. There was a specific experience where somebody was kind of talking to me and they were trying to tell me something. I wasn't really too interested in what was going on, but that person was not being rude to me. That person was not being disrespectful to me in the least bit. The person was, simply attempting in their way to be friendly. It just was like real awkward, but they in their way were attempting to be friendly. And before I was finna crack a joke, right? I was finna say something. And like the spirit kind of nudged me and was like, but Aarona, that's my child. That's also my child. So in that moment, it's that pause of catching yourself and being like, well, if God were right here in the midst of us, which he always is, how would I really respond to this person? How should I be responding to this person? Would me doing this really please God? For real? And if the answer is no, I'm not going to do it. If the answer is being neutral, if the answer is being more loving, if the answer is just maintaining silence but smiling, it's what's going down. That's what's going to happen. And that's something that I've just been, working on. Now, here's the thing. Here's what's crazy about people. And this is why it's the biggest test because, like I said, people are just weird. You say that, right? On an open forum like this, you say that publicly. What happens is it triggers the demons of evil people. It triggers the demons of insecure people. It triggers the demons of people who just need more attention in life. And so they'll take it as their personal mission to get you to come out that character for their entertainment, to get you to come up out of that, just to be like, see. And it's like the people that they trying to impress or show, see, them people don't even like them anyway. Those people weren't even for them anyway. They're just as lost as that person. But it's like, that's a game of nothingness. It leads nowhere. It adds nothing. And at the end of the day, we're all exiting out of here. And it's a choice that you're making to go, no, I do believe in there's an afterlife. Now, if you don't, that's your, look, man, stand on what you believed in. If that's what you really believe, stand on it. I don't believe that. So I'm standing on what I believe. And I believe that there's an afterlife. And I believe that there's a God above us. And I believe that he loves us. And I believe that he gave us life and he wants us to live life more abundantly. I believe that. So because that's what I believe, I'm acting as if I believe that. I'm walking in that. I'm not even just saying it. I'm doing it. So, and you're free to believe whatever you want to believe. And God bless you. Do it. Do it. I think that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to start making cheerleading type songs to just let people stand on what they say they believe. Just, hey, do it, girl. Do it, girl. Do it, girl. Do it. Get it, boy. Get it, boy. Get it, boy. Get it. That's what, well, go ahead. Get on down. What's really the problem then? If people really are comfortable with what they believe, it really shouldn't be a problem. We should really have more peace. But we don't. So, there it is. I wasn't going to end it with that, but I wanted y'all to have an idea of what to expect from this channel as I'm changing around a lot of the content and updating a bunch of things. So be on the lookout for that. And in the meantime, in between time, I pray that God keeps you safe, healthy, and protected. In Jesus' name. Till we meet again. Bye. Do it, boy. Do it, boy. Do it, boy. Do it. Get it, girl. Get it, girl. Get it, girl. Get it.